I can't do it.
Yes, Jim, come on, you gotta get back in there.
I can't do it. Cut me. Just cut me. Just cut me. I can't. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm in there. I'm getting in. Ain't nobody dope as me. I'm so fresh, so clean. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Veteran Idiot. I'm Art. This is the LS build. Hopefully this is the final installment. Not because this wasn't fun, because I want to get it running. I want to drive it on the street. I've been looking forward to that since the beginning. This is the 4th episode into this series. And LSX Specialties hooked us up with a custom harness. This thing looks good. It's got all the things we need and none of the stuff we don't. It's basically just a power line that runs from the battery over, and then a line that goes over to the fuel, and everything else just clicks in. What we'll do is we'll wrap up the transmission harness back in the back there, so whenever we swap over to like a 6.0 with a 4L80, or we throw in a 4L80 in, we'll have the harness for the transmission. We'll just have to retune the computer. But I'm going to give Andy a call over at LSX Specialties and get this base computer tuned so we can tune out the transmission, VATs, all that stuff. So let's get this harness in here, because I got a whole box of goodies over here for the front and outside of the truck to make it look nice and clean. I'm excited, to tell you what.
Okay, let's run.
Let's do it. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, what's this? Stickers. Yeah, all right. We'll throw that on there. Here's his information if you're looking to get one. This harness is top notch, I'm telling you. Paid full price for it, so don't think this is some sort of promotion. But this is legit harness and tuning work. So, I was going to use the factory harness for the alternator and all that business, but I think he's got that taken care of on here, as well as possibly a starter relay. There's crank sensor. What we got here, ground, cam, map. It's like injector, knock, O2, VSS, coolant temp. Alright, this is the transmission leg that we're going to tie up underneath. So we're tuning out a bunch of this stuff, so we don't have the transmission to put it on anyways. Alternator, alright. Coil packs, mass airflow. Some say you can delete that mass airflow and just run it off of the, I guess the map. I'm not sure how well that works, but we're gonna keep mass airflow on. Woo. All right, what we got? Beto, fan, check engine light, tack, fan number 2. Woohoo! Ignition, battery, fuel pump. All right, let's throw all this stuff in here. So this is all gonna rest on this inside fender over here. I still need to paint or pull this out to paint it, but we'll get this all run first, which is gonna go over here. So, and then rest inside the fender on this side. That way I give the terminals down. Keep the rain out of the computer, water, whatever else may be in there. And the fuse block will probably go up here on the side. All right, let's get the rest of this crap plugged in. right. So we got most of the harness all hooked up. Only had to change this plug out, and then I ran a wire in for the indicator for inside the truck. But it uses the factory harness for the charging. Voltage regulator runs through the computer itself, or the exciter wire, whichever way you want to put it. But MAF is hanging down over here because I got to put the intake on, but I'm going to run the belt and all that business. And the harness is really, really nice. Just sets right down in there, looks really clean. There is a bung back here for oil pressure, but it's such a pain to get out, and you can't get a wrench on it for anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the plate that goes down. You might not be able to see it from here, but there's a little, like an adapter plate or something for an oil cooler that goes on the side of that oil filter housing. There's accessories you can get for it. You can get a little plate that has the fittings on it where you can put in the oil pressure. So I'm going to get one of those coming, but we won't need that to start this thing up right away. And so I'm going to pull this inner fender out so I can get all this stuff mounted up, and then we should be good to wire up the fuel pump. I'll just need a harness for the pedal. I think that's it. I think that we'll be able to fire it up after that. But we need an oil filter. I got to figure out what kind of oil filter fits on this thing. Everything I've got for any type of Silverado doesn't fit. The threads are different. It's weird. So I got to figure out what oil filter goes for this shallow pan. And man, this thing, we're going to fire it up today. Yeah, it's going to fire up today for sure. Jinxed myself just now. Dang it. All right, now that we got the fender painted, powder coated, we're gonna throw it back in here and try not to scratch it. We'll see how that goes. Got a couple scratches. Not too bad. Not too bad. All night long. All night. All night. All right, see what you want to do is you want to cross thread everything you can in here. That way it stays forever. Battery time! Put the battery in now time. Oh, she's a heavy girl. She nice. Needs a battery hold down. All right, before we hook up that guy, let's run all the other stuff. So what we're trying to accomplish with this here is the computer is going to come and sit down and face up. So the plugs in the computer and everything, water can't drain into it, it'll just run off of it. There's no mounts in here for this because obviously that computer didn't come in this truck. They sell a kit where you can put mounts on it, but for right now we're going to just kind of hold it in place. But the trick is getting all your wiring where you need it and want it. Something like this here. All right, so that'll go there. In the meantime, we'll throw down some rags while we're jockeying around everything else. Okay, fuse box. Probably just go right inside here, on the inside of this fender. That way we can run these wires over and across that direction. Need to get some 20 amp fuses for all this business. Every single one of these holes gets a 20 amp fuse. Actually, I think the hinge goes right there, so that cannot work. Dang it. We'll go right over here instead. I don't think I have any 20 amp fuses. I might have to go buy some. All I got is 20s. Yeah. Lots of 20s. Probably not enough, but that's okay. I'll go get more. Now this TAC, the accelerator pedal module, it's gonna be a tricky one. May go back here behind the engine, because that harness for the accelerator pedal is really short too. All right, I'm gonna run all these wires. Okay, we're moving right along. Got most of this all wired up. Fluid lines are in, fuel pumps wired up. Now we need to start wiring in the battery and the rest of this harness and put the front end on it. And it is not cooling down anytime soon. I don't know if you've ever worked in really hot weather, but it takes the energy right out of you. So I'm going to keep pushing forward, see how much of this we can get done today. And if anything, we'll fire it up tomorrow. But we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Well, I've been giving it hell again, but I finally got the oil pressure gauge hooked up. I got one of those little adapter bungs, put it in the side of the block over here, and then ran that copper tubing into it. So the fan belt I got doesn't fit, so I struck out on that one. I gotta go back and get one that's like an inch longer so I can put that on. And the oil filter doesn't fit again. I don't know what thread pitch is on here. The pan I looked up is from a 98 to 2001 Camaro Firebird. And the oil filter that I picked up was for a 2000 Camaro with a 5.7, and it doesn't screw on. It's the same thread pitch as the deep pan and the other two filters that I picked up earlier. But this one, I don't know what thread pitch this is. I'm just gonna have to keep buying oil filters till I figure it out. So, but still no oil filter, so I can't fill it up with oil and I can't turn it over. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna throw the core support and radiator back up in here, and that way we can keep moving along with this project and get all the wiring done, get some of the plumbing done as well. Wow. Does not want to go back together very easily. Whew. All right, core support's on. I need to go return some of those parts and get some new ones. So for tonight, we're gonna wrap it up. I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, turns out I couldn't leave it alone. Went and got an oil filter and another belt. Belt is still too short. I think I need another inch on it, so we'll try that again tomorrow. However, the oil filter finally fits. Turns out the part number on this pan is for, like I said earlier, 98 to 2001 Camaro or Firebird. But if you're buying a new pan with that part number, the filter is for a 5th generation Camaro with a 6.2 liter. So part number for that is going to be the HP 1017, and that is a 6.2 liter 5th generation Camaro filter for the shallow pan with the part number that's on it, and I'll show you that part number too. But that was kind of a pain. I went through 3 different filters before finally getting the right one. This is actually the 4th filter, but it's full of oil. I hooked up the battery. I don't have the power to the harness hooked up yet because I want to get the harness for the pedal as well. Also, I need to tune the computer, but I need to hear it turn over. I need to hear something. But to get there, I need to put the radiator back in and hook up the transmission coolant lines. Otherwise, they're going to puke out everywhere. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll see if we can hear it turn over. Where did I put the clamps? Truck's been apart so long, I forgot where everything is. It's substantially cooler in the desert at night. Still got the swamp cooler rolling because it's still like 100 degrees outside, but it doesn't have that sun beating down in here, and it feels like a one of those easy bake ovens that our daughters had, but it is substantially cooler in here. There's no doubt about that. Problem is, I just can't sit in here and crank on this all the time at night. For one, I want to spend some time with the old lady, and for another, I don't be running power tools and everything else like that with neighbors around. All right, cooler lines. Why the top cooler line reaches but the bottom does not is weird. All right, well, I think it's because now that the engine is so far back, but I think we can make up the difference. We just take some of the bends out. Unfortunate because they're brand new lines, but it is what it is at this point. Ooh, this guy is heavily rounded off. I don't know if y'all remember the last time I used vice grips near a radiator. Just watch this clip. Well, got her out, but not without some collateral damage.
Idiot.
Glad I bought a new one of those. All right, back at it. I gotta get that lower cooler line on. It's gonna have to take some bendies to get to it though. I can tell I'm getting tired. Stuff's getting weird. All right, I'm gonna figure out how to bend that stuff. Oh, man, I'm on a hot streak tonight. Dang it. Bummer. bro. She's in. Transmission lines are good to go. GTG, bro. GTG. Gonna get our money's worth on zip ties today. That's a bummer, dude. Broken bulb, dude. All right. I'm gonna turn on the key, see if I can't hear the fuel pump running in the back. I think it only gives it a 2-second prime and then it cuts it, but we'll see. I do not like the way it sounds. Sounds like it's got a little bit of a gallop in there. All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna crank it a little bit more, see what everything looks like. Well, she cranks over. I don't think it's gonna fire over until we tune out the vats, but I'm excited. I'm glad that it's all hooked up, and that's good stuff. All right, start bolting down this guy, figuring out what we're gonna do for our radiator hoses as well. I got some new lights and stuff like that, so we'll throw those in too. Last night we let the liquor talk. Woo! Almost dropped another one. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. A little parched, but I'm doing good. All right, here's where we're at, folks. It's dark. I'm gonna go hang with the old lady, so I'm done for the evening. Got a lot of the front put back on. Put some new parking lamps and turn signals on, as well as markers. They're looking pretty slick. Yeah. All right, in here, transmission cooler lines are hooked up. Need to get a longer belt. Take this one back, get another longer belt. Need to come under here, probably another inch or so. And then put some ground straps on. And what else did I do? We're all bolted in the front here. I have some new bezels and new headlights to go in there. But the headlights that I bought didn't come with the little plastic adjusters and the springs in here. And that's what I bought it for. I don't have it, so I'm gonna have to order those up from Amazon. They get here pretty quickly, so I can put these in. However, I don't need those to run the truck. I just need to tune this guy down here, tune out the vats so I can get it to crank over and start. It cranks over, but it doesn't start. It doesn't turn on the fuel pump and kick it forward. So once we get that all set, I think this guy is going to be started. It's going to run. But for tonight, I'm done tonight. I'm going to get some rest. And we'll try again tomorrow. See you in the morning. Hey, we're back. It's the next day, afternoon. Adjustment screws for the headlights showed up. Thanks to Next Day Amazon. 5 stars. Amazon would recommend. They are Dorman, but it's what I could get in the next day. So let's go ahead and finish putting this front end back on and put on the new headlights and the bezels and all that business. See how good she looks. Got rice cooking in the microwave. A 3-day beard I don't plan to shave. I don't know the rest of the words, but I'm doing all right. All right, so what we're doing here is we're switching from the sealed halogen bulbs, where it's this whole entire thing, switching over to the replaceable bulbs. We'll end up getting LEDs or HIDs or something in here, but this is what we're going with. It's a pretty easy little adapter. I don't know what I did with the spring. Whoa. Great day to be alive. All right, so got a nice little bezel for this. Gonna go right char. I just gotta steal the thingies off the thingy from the old ones. Pop them suckers in. Boop. I can screw that guy up in there. Right. Char. Just like that, restored. She's a beaut, Clark. She's a beaut. Real nice. Real nice. All right, now that this side's done, I'm gonna move over to the other one and knock that one out. All right, they're both on. They look minty fresh. And now this lower valance is gonna go on like that, so we can start putting the trim around the whole thing. Well, I don't exactly know what thread pitch that was, but it works. Now a couple of these clips are already broken off, so we won't be using them, but it'll hold it in nicely just the way it's set right there. Those headlight bezels sit over the front of this grill, so even though the grill plastic is broken down here, now that that one's tight over there, it's in pretty firm. Ta-da! Still a little wobbly here. Might be able to get a screw down in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and say probably not. So what I'll end up doing is securing it from the back side. Yep, that's what we'll do. All right, so this is the new trim piece for the top. Ooh, girl. Actually goes this way. So let's put the clips in. So there's these little screw clips on the back of these trim pieces. And the ones that I bought didn't come with them, oddly enough. JK. Not quite sure why the first time doing something is always like this, but you always got to end up doing things several times. For instance, I need to take the grill back out. Well, got it all put together. I'm really liking these headlights. This is a good look. Everything in here is looking real good. Oh, I need to tighten that one up a little bit. A lot of it. Anyways, it's all on here. Front end is put back together. We're one step closer to getting this thing done. I really wanted to be able to start it up, fire it up, and drive it on the road in this episode, but it's just not going to happen. I got to set up a time to tune the computer, as well as I don't have the pedal harness, which will come in a little bit later this week. So bear with me on the next episode. I promise you, I promise, this thing will be fired up and on the road. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Idiot.